what's Poppets? Oh, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're looking at relatable memes, alright? I have bumped into, this week is all internet videos, right? I get it. But I delved into the internet, alright? And I found things that I wanted to make videos on, and this is important. These are relatable memes that we can relate to. So I've pulled them up, and we're going to go through relatable memes. What memes do we relate to? Don't know what that was. So join me today. Join me. And if you're new, join the magic and fun. Join the magic and fun. Hit subscribe, because I'm telling you to. I'm a legend. You'll love it here. I promise. Also, a massive thank you to my channel members. You guys are awesome. Let's delve in. So, when I find out my family ate something good while I wasn't around. Yes. This actually happened to me the other night. I bought some white chocolate digestives and we opened them, put them in the box, and then I kind of didn't have one when they first went in because I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't hungry. I wanted to be hungry having one. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to be like, oh, I really fancy one of them, to like really enjoy it. It came to that and they were gone. And that was my reaction. When you go back to sleep to finish the storyline of your dream. Yes, I have done that so many times. And I have actually finished the dream sometimes. Not all the time. It is rare actually, but sometimes I can do that. I'm quite a vivid dreamer. I have mentioned this before. And for some reason I'm able to do it. Can anyone else do that? Can you go back to sleep and finish your dream? I think it depends how awake you are. If you're not massively awake, then I think that you can do that. But yeah, that's been me sometimes in bed. I might look calm, but in my head I have punched you in the face 3 times. Yes, Kermit. Yes, I have done that so many times. I can relate to this meme. I can. Just smile. But in your head you're punching them. You're punching, you're leathering them. Yeah, I can relate. Quite a lot actually. Walking past a class that your friend is in. Now clearly I am not in school anymore. But yes, I have done this to many of classmates. Back in the day, I'm not old. I don't know why I said back in the day. But when I was at school, yes. If, say, I don't know, one of my friends had like, I don't know, double English or something. So obviously they kind of stay in that classroom to start double English. And I haven't got a double lessons, and I walked past the English class and I remember doing it every time because I knew obviously which friend that, oh my god, that was so funny. Yes, I relate to this meme. Did any of you? People did it to me too. It wasn't funny when it was done to me, but it was funny when I did it to people, right? Because I was like envying them for being outside the window instead of in the classroom. I did enjoy school though. Be good kids, stay in school. It's the best years. It's all downhill when you leave school. You've got things, responsibilities. When the teacher is yelling at someone and you try not to laugh. Yes. That brings back so many memories. So many. It was normally me in trouble. No, it wasn't. I was a good girl at school. I did have one teacher though. She was a nightmare, right? She was my English teacher. And she didn't like me. She was called Mrs. Storm. She was a storm. She really didn't like me. And I'd sit, and all she'd make us do in English, I think I've spoke about this before on the channel, but all she'd make us do is read. That is it. She'd just make us read. So every lesson we'd come in and we'd just have to read. Now, I'd literally be sat there and my friend would be talking to me and I'm reading this book and going, as I'm reading, you know. And she'd be like, Susanna, stop talking. And it just got to a point where she would throw me out the class, right? It wasn't me talking. I was reading, not taking it in very well because my friend was talking to me, but that's not the point. I wasn't the one talking. She really didn't like me, and it got to a point where she'd say my name and I'd just get up because I knew I was getting thrown out. And I can remember, right, I'm getting cross now thinking about this. Do you know what I mean? Right. So there was this one time I had double English. When I had double English, right? I can't remember what year I was in, maybe 8 or 9, so I'd have been about 12, 13 maybe. And this one time she kicked me out at the beginning of double English, right? The pips went. We called them the pips. The pips went. It wasn't a bell, it was pips. It was called pips because it was like beep, 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 beep. And that was your end of lesson or beginning of lunch, end of lunch, break, whatever, right? We had pips, not bells, right? The pips went and I was sat on this staircase because where my English class was, we had stairs to the library. And I was sat on those stairs because I didn't want to stand outside the class. So I sat on the stairs and the pips went. First lesson had finished. Obviously no one came out or anything because it was double English. There was another English lesson and I sat there. And then the pips went again to start the next lesson and she hadn't been out to get me. So I carried on sitting there. I thought, no, you forgot me. I'm just going to wait here. She came out after the second lesson and yeah, she was very apologetic anyway. But then blamed me for missing the second lesson. And then another English teachers did not like me until later years at school. Don't know why. They just had a thing about me. I don't know what it was because I was a good girl. But this one English teacher, she really hated me. So one day I thought, right, I'm going to try and get on her good side. Don't know how I got on her bad side, but I'm going to try and get on her good side. So I got to English early, right? This was in year 7, my first year in secondary school. So I was waiting. And the door was open, so I went in and I tidied her desk, put it all nice and neat for her. And then the whiteboard, because it was when we didn't have blackboards anymore, we had whiteboards. I saw the whiteboard and I thought, right, I'll wipe all that off that was on the whiteboard, ready for the lesson, you know, really tidied her desk, everything. And then I went back outside and then all my mates started lining up ready to go into English. She turns up, she was like, come on then children. So we went in and sat down and she said, who's wiped today's work off the whiteboard? That was me, miss. Yeah, she hated me even more after that. Anyway, let's move on to more relatable memes. But yes, when the teacher is yelling at someone and you try not to laugh. Yeah, that's been all of us. All of us. When you're cleaning your room and you get distracted by stuff you found. Yes, yes, 100%. And I know this isn't just me. We all get distracted. We get distracted and we find things, especially when it comes to like when I'm tidying around and cleaning my Harry Potter stuff wherever in the house. I do find I get distracted because I'm like, oh, I forgot I had that because it's been on the shelf and it's maybe at the back or something and I'm admiring it and then I admire something else. Yeah, I do get distracted and I just love the picture. She's got a mask on and it looks like a DS. That is brilliant. The most dangerous game to play, resting your eyes in the morning after shutting your alarm. Do you know what? That is relatable more than anything at the minute because I did that this morning. My alarm went off at 6:30 this morning. I turned it off and it doesn't help that it's still dark outside because it's winter and it's dull and it's literally dark 24/7. That might be a bit of an exaggeration. It is a dull day though today, so it's relatable for today. It's dark, going to be dark 24/7 today. But yeah, 6:30 the alarm went off and I rolled out of bed at 7:10, so this morning was a bit of a rush. I mean, it's not a rush. I mean, both my kids, literally, my eldest school is round the corner that way and my youngest's is round the corner that way. So it's like, it's fine. But it was just a rush for me because I knew I wanted to film today and I wanted to put a bit of makeup on and look pretty for y'all, you know what I mean? But I've got like Alchemy, I've gone for like an Alchemy look today. We've got like blue, purple and pink. Not that you probably care. Oh my days, the nights. This is relatable. Wide awake at 11 PM, wide awake at 2 AM, wide awake at 4 AM, 8 minutes before my alarm, I'm fast asleep. I have done this so many times. Those nights are horrendous when you are laid in bed and you're tired and you're like, just go to sleep. Just please go to sleep. I tell you what, Matt is really bad for it at the minute. He's really, really bad for it. And he just tend to wake up. Bless him. He has to be up at 4:30 in the morning. And the amount of times he's woke up at like 4:45. And I'm like, oh, that's painful. Me in quarantine, like, is tomorrow Sunday or June? Can you remember the days during the pandemic? We didn't know what day it was or month it was. I remember it well. I never want to relive that ever again. Let's get away from this meme. Trying to figure out which cup is less full to give to your sibling. We've all done that and I remember it well because obviously I have kids. I mean, they're 15 and 10 now, so one of them's not a child. Well, he is a child. Declan is a child. He's 15, but he's still a child. But I mean, when they were younger, obviously I'd get them a drink and I'd make sure that it was the right colour cup. You've got to do that. Those of you with kids know what I mean. They need the right colour cup, and make sure that, you know, you're bending over the worktop, like say that's the worktop, and you're like looking at the drinks, like, yeah, they're because otherwise they're like, like if say Jamie had less, he'd literally take it to heart and think I love Declan more, that I favourite that child more. You've got to be careful, But yeah, if I ever filled a drink for my little sister, I always made sure I had more. It's different when it's your sibling doing it to your parent, alright? My mum, when she brushed my hair for school. Okay, yes, I remember this well, but it wasn't my mum, it was my dad. If my mum couldn't brush my hair was so long when I was little, it was literally down to my bum. It was so long, and mum loved it like that. I mean, I don't know, I didn't really have a preference when I was little, because when you're little you don't really, I was going to swear, you don't care. But yeah, when my dad brushed my hair, oh, he was rough. He was so rough with that hairbrush, so rough, and that is what I look like. Me calculating how much sleep I'll get if I watch one more episode. Yeah, me and Matt have done this so many times. We found a good show on Netflix. We've actually done this recently. We do it a lot, but we have done it in the past week. Where what have we been watching on Netflix? Inside Man. We've been watching Inside Man. We've still got one episode left to watch, but Celebrity Jungle started, and we do watch Celebrity Jungle, but we still need to watch one more. But on a weekday we come to bed at 10 because Matt's got to be up at 4:30. I don't really want to sit downstairs on my own, so I do come to bed with him. And to be fair, I don't know if it's my age, but I am tired at 10 o'clock, so I quite happily come and climb into bed and shut my eyes at 10 o'clock. But we can literally probably only watch like one thing, right? But on a weekend, obviously we could go to bed a bit later, so this is where this comes in, because we're like, right, we have got to be up in the morning because we've got to do such and such, but if we watch one more episode, that'll take us to maybe 1:45 in the morning, which will give us X amount of hours sleep, and it is going to be a busy day. Literally, we calculate it. It's like quite a scientific equation to us. Anyone else? My parents aren't home, you know what that means. Sits in the living room instead of sealing myself away in my room. This is too accurate. It is too accurate. I mean, that is massively accurate. The amount of times my mum and dad were like, right, we are going wherever. Do you want to come? No, you're alright, I'll stay at home. I don't need to go there. You're fine, it doesn't interest me. I'll stay at home. And then, yeah, I've got the big TV downstairs to myself. I do. Why do we do that? I mean, you've got your bedroom. I mean, yeah, there was a bigger telly downstairs, but it's not the reason why I stayed downstairs. But for some reason, I stayed downstairs. Did anyone else do that when you was a child? I mean, well, a child, teenager. I didn't stay at home when I was a child on my own. Checking to see if those weird sounds are a part of the music or not. Right, I don't do it with music. I do it when I'm editing a video. When I'm editing a video, whether it be for this channel or the paranormal channel that I've got, more so for the paranormal channel, I do wear headphones for obvious reasons, to really listen to things. But I do wear headphones when I'm editing these videos, because I can really hear everything properly, like the music, if I put music in over my voice, this, that. But yeah, there are times where I'm like, is that in the house or is that on here? And I have to lift my headphones. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that. And I think I have done it a few times. If I've got music on in my ears and I'm walking out and about, just going for a walk or something, and I decide I want to listen to a bit of music. And yeah, I have done it, but more so when I'm editing videos. So yes, I relate. Anybody else relate? Please let me know if you're relating to these memes. When you're 15 minutes deep into an argument and you realise that you completely misunderstood something. Yes. I have done this with Matt. Me and Matt actually don't argue a lot. We really don't. But let's just say when we've had like not an argument, a disagreement. When we've had a disagreement, because we don't argue. I know you might find that weird, but we actually don't. It is very rare that we ever argue. Very, very rare. We've been together now 13 years and we've probably had maybe 5 arguments, but little disagreements and things, and then you realise when you're wrong. Yes, I can relate to this meme. I have done it a couple of times, so has Matt, and you can see in each other's face when they've realised, and then it just ends up being like this whole big laugh. It's funny. Ah yes, I relate. That fake laugh you do when you have no idea what the other person said. Yes. Oh my days, that is so relatable. I'll tell you who's really bad for that, my husband, because he doesn't listen to a word I say. So if he's like in the middle of, I don't know, looking at a TikTok or he's on the PlayStation or something and I decide to tell him something and he'll fake laugh and it's not even funny what I'm telling him. Like, it's not serious necessarily, but it's not even funny. And I'm like, you didn't actually listen to me, did you? And he's like, no. And then he'll pause what he's doing and say, sorry, say it again. But I have done it a couple of times myself, yes, definitely. But that's really made me chuckle. Choose the correct answer. And you can't scare me with this. And explain why. Kicks it out of the way. Yes! Oh my days, right. I've literally just had this argument. So the kids come in with their homework, obviously. I mean, Declan's in his last year. He's doing his GCSEs. Obviously the beginning of next year. He's in his last year of school. Jamie, he's in year 5. He's coming home with homework where it's normally in maths, isn't it, where you have to show you working out. I was terrible at school. Maths is not a strong point for me at all, and I will just happily admit that. Maths is not. English, yes, I am really, like English, I was an absolute star. The teachers hated me, but maybe they put me into shape. I don't know why, because I wasn't even naughty, but do you know what I mean? But English, yes, but maths, no. But you tend to have to show you working out. Now, I used to feel really clever when I knew the answer to a maths question, but then when it comes to working it out, I worked it out obviously in my head, but putting that working out onto paper isn't always easy. So yeah, this is how I felt. This is how I felt so many times during maths. Anyone else? Interviewer, tell us about yourself. Me, unprepared. I was born at a very young age. I can relate to this because it was when I was on radio. I was on a radio. Was it radio or was it when I was on BBC Breakfast? Something was asked and I didn't like the way I answered it because I was really unprepared for the question. And oh my god, thinking about it's making me cringe. But yeah, I have been in that situation. I can relate to that meme. Can anyone else relate to that? I was born at a very young age. When you sleep in and your alarm didn't ring yet, but the amount of sleep you're getting is suspicious. Yes, normally in the summer months this happens because it gets daylight at like 2 in the morning. That might be a bit of an exaggeration. In fact, it's definitely an exaggeration. It probably starts to get light, like proper light at like 5 in the morning. So when it gets to like, I don't know, I open my eyes and I see the sun trying to get through my curtains and I'm like, oh my days, like this is like, and I feel wide awake because of this. And then I look at my phone and like I said, my alarm goes off at 6:30 and it's like 6 or 5:30 or something. And I'm like, it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, I definitely relate to that. Me laughing at my own joke before I even tell it. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there so many times. I'm trying to tell Matt something that's happened in the day or something or a joke. And he's like just looking at me because I just can't get it out because I'm laughing. The amount of times that's happened is absolutely ridiculous. Wow, what can I say? I'm funny. When your shower is too hot and it hits your back. Yes, you tried to crawl up the wall the other side. Or cold. Cold does that too. If it's cold, oh my days. That is so me. Okay. Interviewer, why do you want this job? I've always been passionate about being able to afford food. It's so true though, isn't it? Just give me the job. Like, I could do this. I could do it. So why? I want the job because I can afford stuff. Why does anyone else want a job? You know, some people do work on a profession, obviously. So they are passionate. But most people, I mean, let's say an interviewer at Tesco says that. Why do you want this job? Because I want to afford food, that's why. It's Tesco, it's not exactly a profession. Waving goodbye on a Zoom meeting the second the Zoom meeting ends. I don't know, I can't relate to that. When I'm making up scenarios in my head and I take it too far and hurt my own feelings, yes. Has anyone else done this? I'll tell you when I've done this. And it's when I've had a dream and it's been like, something's happened, I don't know, Matt's cheated on me in my dream. And then I like finish the dream off in my head in the morning and I end up hurting myself. And I look at Matt and I'm like, how could you? I hate you. When you're hungry but all the food in the house needs to be cooked. Now, we've all been there. We can all relate to this meme. All of us can relate to this meme. You know when you're hungry and you want the food there and then. Even like toast. I mean, it takes, what, 5 minutes max, right? Depending on how you want your toast. Maybe a bit longer with some people. But that's too long. You want food there and then. Yeah, I relate, and I know a lot of you, if not all of you, can relate to that meme. Teachers, when they add and just have fun to the instructions. Yeah? Could you imagine? Massive pile of paperwork of maths. My worst enemy, right? We've got a pop quiz, guys, but just have fun. We never called them pop quizzes. Is that American pop quiz? Me home alone blasting my music on full volume but stopping it every 5 seconds because I think I hear a noise. Yes, I relate to that. I relate to it as a teenager. If mum and dad went out and I didn't sit in the living room, I'd go up, I'd put my music on and I'd dance or something, or just sit in my room, and I'd have to stop it. And I'd still do that if I'm home alone and I'm cleaning, because I'll often put music on if I'm cleaning or something. And yeah, I do that because I think someone's broken and they want to get me. Me recreating an argument I had 6 hours ago with new and better points. How many? We've all done this. We have all had an argument with whoever, and then either a year down the line, 5 minutes down the line from the argument, you suddenly start thinking, I should have said that, but I could have said that. And you start and you're like, I'd have won that argument if you didn't win it before, or you could have won it better adding these points in. We've all been there. When your mum forces you to speak to your relatives. Yes, I do this to my kids. Speak to your grandma. Yeah, we've all been there. As children and maybe as adults too. Say I love you. Yes. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm literally, my eyes are like watering because of the laughing. This has been so much fun to do. I've really enjoyed it. Can you relate to any of them memes? I relate to all of them apart from the Zoom meeting one. I don't do that after the Zoom meeting. Of course, I've done it before. But can you think of relatable things? Please put them in the comments. Have you seen memes like these before? Let me know in the comments because I'd love to read. You know I love chatting to you all in the comments. It's the best bit. I love making the video, but one of the best bits is getting to have a chit chat, whether it's about the video or just general life. I just love a chit chat in the comments. But thank you for hanging out with me tonight, guys. It's been fun, really fun to do this video, and I will speak to you all in my next video. Bye, Pods Poppets.